Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Wednesday, December 25th, 2019. In this video, we're going to explore the secrets of Riverside Park, as well as some of the actual filming locations of the original 1974 Death Wish movie with Charles Bronson. The video is not just about the filming locations of the Death Wish movie, but about the area in itself and the history therein, so let's get started. We're going to start looking south on the Henry Hudson Parkway right here. The highway is pitched to the right, and as you can see, there was a fatal accident here a few months ago where an off-duty police officer was killed. Her car was driving at a high rate of speed, and she hit the tree. Continuing on, you may notice that the right side of the highway is on grade level, where the left side, or the northbound side, appears to be elevated. That is because underneath the northbound side are the Amtrak railway tracks. Now, years ago, they used to be freight, but starting in 1980, I believe it was 1980, they turned into a passenger line. I came across this open vault door, which I thought might have been a passageway down to the railway tracks, but this is not the case. Let me tell you, this door is very heavy cast iron. Looking inside of it, I was surprised to see that it's some kind of power station. I don't know if it's for the lights on the highway or what it is, but it has nothing to do with the railroad, I don't think. Continuing on, you can see how the highway is pitched right here. That's the 96th Street exit right there. Now this is an old parking lot or rest area that was sealed off back in the 1980s. That's Riverside Park itself. We're going to be going down there later on in the video. This is the same area. The traffic is heading southbound, although I'm looking northbound. This is a ramp down to Riverside Park. Riverside Park. This is the original green railing that was used and installed when the highway was constructed in approximately 1937. I love this old green railing. Here are steps down to Riverside Park. Here you can see people are out early walking their dogs. I ran into quite a few dog walkers this morning, as you're probably going to see. This, I believe, at one point was a roadway. I'm going to visit that in a few more minutes. Here is the old parking area that has been sealed off. The problem with this is, back in the day, this was used as a rest stop or parking area. But back in the 1980s, the early 1980s, there were illicit activities being conducted at night. I'm not going to get into that right now, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So the Parks Department and the city sealed it off, and right now it's used as a staging area there for the Parks Department, and you can see that there's a box loaded with compost, a container. This is an original fire hydrant. I believe it's from 1937. They don't make them like that anymore. This is the 96th Street exit ramp, and again, more of the original green guardrail. That would have been the exit from the parking lot that's been sealed up. More of the guardrail. That's an overlook to the Hudson River. Now we're walking down the 96th Street exit ramp. You'll notice that the aluminum guardrail has replaced the old green guardrail, but you can see there are still remnants of it, like right here. And there's the base of it right there. The guardrail was knocked out many, many years ago. Going under the 96th Street exit ramp, the overpass to the West Side Highway, which, as you can see, is improperly marked at 12 feet 8 inches. There is no way that is 12 feet 8 inches. The problem is they don't want 18-wheelers using this road, and therefore they mismark all the bridges. I estimate this to be at least 14 feet high, and I myself have seen 18-wheelers navigate this with no problem. That's the original fencing there. Notice how the structure is starting to erode. You can clearly see where the concrete has fallen away. The city has marked it with orange paint right there. See that? They do that to see if it's going to expand anymore, I think. I'm surprised they have not put any safety netting under there. Again, I'm not sure if this is the original lighting. I don't think it is. Now we're coming around the bend. That's a ventilation grate. That's Riverside Park on the north side of the highway. Now we're coming up to something very interesting on the right-hand side. This is an entrance, an emergency entrance, to the Amtrak railway tracks. There are entrances like this up and down the West Side Highway if you know where to look for them. In the summertime, they're covered over with foliage, but as I said, it's December 25th, so there's nothing growing right now. I was surprised to see that this heavy cast iron door was ripped off its mooring. Now, as you can see, people have gone in there, the graffiti guys and everybody else. I know that a lot of urban explorers have entered the Amtrak railway yards illegally. Let me tell you something. I've done a lot of urban exploration in my time, but that's one place even I will not go. The problem is, number one, it's totally illegal, and the Amtrak police would arrest you if they caught you in there. Number two, it's dangerous because of the trains. And number three, it's dangerous because of the wrong kind of people. You have no idea of some of the things that go down on in there. I stuck my camera through the hole in the fence and I was able to get these shots. Now, truthfully, there's enough room for me to fit in that fence, to fit through the opening. I'm not fishy by any means, but I took the high road and I chose not to enter. Let's continue up the 96th Street exit ramp now. And you can see, although there is a haze in the sky, the sun was peeking through, which is really good for us. We don't get many sunny days here. They put up these plastic stanchions years ago because they didn't want people using the 96th Street off-ramp as a U-turn to head back north. I think it's very inconvenient they did that, but I think they did it for safety reasons. Although, as you can see, quite a few people have knocked them out by running them over. Ahead is Riverside Drive. When you see a sign in brown, like this one in the city, that means the area is designated historic. Usually the signs have a green background. Here again is some nice green guardrail and a staging area. They're doing some repair work. And you saw some compressors back there. 96th Street exit ramp. Riverside Drive is on top there. Now, I want to point out a couple of things here. Note the detail work in this archway. It's unparalleled, even underneath here. And this structure was just given a brand new coat of Rust-Oleum paint. And they applied it really, really thick. And let me tell you something. It smelled like they did it yesterday. I'm not kidding. Now we're going to head back out into Riverside Park again. We're still on the north side of the roadway. You can see this is the original green railing from 1937. Continuing on our way. That's looking south at the northbound traffic on the Henry Hudson Parkway. Grading, ventilation grading that is. Look at the curbing right in front of you there. I'm going to get you a close-up of it right now. But look how many people smashed into that over the years. That can really damage your car if you hit that thing. And here we have some people out. I took a picture of this totally hollowed out, rotten tree. I'm sure you've read articles of where tree limbs have fallen and hurt people in the parks, especially in Central Park. I'm telling you, this one really can't hurt anybody because it's too low to the ground. But I like to see the Parks Department a little more active and get rid of some of these dead trees. Now this is the exit ramp or U-turn onto the southbound side. This, I believe, is the original granite work, and it's in very good condition. This is Riverside Park heading north on the north side. But like I said, we're going to concentrate on the south side. We're still on the north side. Now we're heading down underneath the overpass of the Henry Hudson Parkway. Now, if you look, here's another one of those gratings like we passed earlier that lead down to the Amtrak rail yards. Does anything seem weird about this to you? I knew right away when I saw all these makeshift coverings that somebody was living in there. This door is unlocked and somebody has set up shop in there. I stuck the camera in to show you. Somebody's actually living there. That's their home. Okay? That's the overpass. Emerging from the overpass onto the south side of Riverside Park. And we're now going to explore some of the locations from the original Death Wish movie with Charles Bronson. Now, you're going to see, that's the Hudson River right there. And another shot of the Hudson River. And if you look clearly in the background, you can see the George Washington Bridge. See these stairs? You may not recognize them right now, but you will once we ascend them. They filmed a scene near the beginning of the movie Death Wish where Charles Bronson comes down these stairs and is attacked right here by this railing by a mugger. Charles Bronson then turns around and shoots the mugger dead. Now I'm sure from this scene you remember it if you're a fan. Charles Bronson comes walking down here. The mugger grabs him right around here and says, "Give me your money." Bronson turns around, shoots him dead, and hurries off. Then the next morning, the cops are parked here on top, and they go down and they visit the site. And that Italian cop, I think his name was Vincent something, anyway, takes the case over. Now here's something weird. I don't know what this is. This is remnants of metal that was in the ground at one time. I don't think it's a railway track, but you'll notice these bricks were here. It looks like this was some kind of a roadway that led up to the closed parking lot. See? I have no idea what that is. Now we're going to go up to 135th Street, which was another location of the Death Wish movie. Unfortunately, the area has been heavily gentrified since then, and it may not look the same. At the end of the movie, Charles Bronson ran to one of these warehouses, you may remember, where he was chasing some of the muggers, and he wound up getting shot himself. This scenic staircase was in many, many movies. Off the top of my head, it was on The Equalizer. It was recently in a section of Mr. Robot. If there's any Mr. Robot fans out there, this was recently in an episode of Mr. Robot. This is the railroad tracks on top here. That's Riverside Drive. This was all dismantled and replaced in 1986. I'm on 135th Street and 12th Avenue right now. I got to speed it up because I got to get going. But yeah, as you can see, some of this is original, but unfortunately the lattice work was all replaced. Guys, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a thumbs up. It tells me that you'd like this. It tells me you like the video and you want me to make more. If you didn't like it, tell me what you want me to do differently next time, and I will try and help you. Remember, I'm a seller friend, not a seller critic or skeptic of any kind. Go out there, Rock on, have a good day, and don't be fitchy.